seriously like a 3-4 year process to get all the documents for Dale to enter the United States and Chrissy's green card. Then up for a day and a half. It's been some emotional entry. Dale didn't understand why he couldn't go in the line with his mom. Stay up, Dale!
Hello guys, this is Cameron from BusyBodyVisa.com, and today we're going to talk about what visa Tim K is using to get his wife to America. For those of you who don't know, Tim K is a very popular vlogger and he vlogs about his life, and in many of his trips his wife Chrissy is in the US. So I thought I'd talk about how he was able to do that, and also how do you get your Filipina spouse or girlfriend to the US, and go over some of the best visas for that. So Tim K did confirm to me that he is using the CR1, which is a marriage visa, to bring her to the United States. This has several advantages: that it's permanent, it's a marriage-based visa, so there is no real interview process, but there are some disadvantages to it. First of all, it takes a long time. It can take anywhere from 12 to 14 months to get those approved. So it is guaranteed, but it takes a long time. Also, it's expensive. Even if you manage to go through the 300 pages of paperwork to get it done yourself, you're still looking at around 300 pages worth of paperwork once it's all said and done. The good news is, though, that she gets her green card. Unlike the K1 visa, where you have to do an adjustment of status once she gets to the US. With the CR1, once that's approved, she's basically ready to go. Now, she could run into some issues, and by she I mean Chrissy, could run into some issues because you're supposed to technically be an actual permanent resident of the US, which means you're supposed to stay there for 6 months out of the year. And if you don't, USCIS could consider your green card to be abandoned. So I don't know exactly how they're dealing with that, but that is a possible concern. Okay, so the next most common way would be a K1 visa. That is the fiance visa. That's very popular for people who are not married, and it's just the easiest way to get her to the US. Now, the problem with the K1 visa is it's expensive. So once you get done paying the fee, so your first fee, you're looking at $675 for your initial application fee. Then you have to do an affidavit of support, medical exam, and then once you get to the US, you have to do an adjustment of status, which is about $1,400. So it's not cheap. But the good news is that it is faster. These are usually approved between anywhere from 6 to 8 months. So if you are in a LDR, like your Filipinos in the Philippines, and you're in the States, the K1 visa probably would be the best way to go. All right, so now I want to talk to you about another possible visa. A lot of people don't even try because they think it's impossible, but a tourist visa. This is a good option for if you are living here in the Philippines with your wife, you have a history established here, you clearly have a life here, but you just want to take her back to the US, maybe to see your family, take her to Disneyland, whatever. Well, if you go with the K1 or CR1, you're looking at about a year's worth of work and a lot of money, probably $2,000 once it's said and done, just in government fees, by the way. And so the tourist visa is a much better option. It's good for 10 years. She gets in and out privileges, and it's good for short term because these other visa categories are immigrant visas. So unless she's actually planning on immigrating to the US, it's just a waste of time and a waste of money. The reason people don't do it is because the denial rate is high for tourist visas, especially for the type of women that most expats marry. But as someone who has worked in this industry, I know what gets approved and what doesn't. So I'll give you some free tips. You basically just need to show that you have a life here in the Philippines, that you're not intending to go back to the US and you just want to get a quick way to bring her. You just need to show that, and you do this, for example, by having a house or just having just something that shows that she's got a good life here. She doesn't need to go to the US and work as in the back of a restaurant, whereas she's got a good life here in the Philippines. So I can help you with that. So as a former fraud prevention officer, I know what gets approved and what doesn't. So I can help you to get a tourist visa for your partner to the US. A tourist visa is also quicker. So you're looking right now, the wait time for an interview is about 85 days. That versus 6 months to a year for the K1 or CR1 visas. So I just thought that this would be a little bit helpful for someone who wants to bring their partner back to the US on a temporary basis. Thank you. Bye-bye.